off with the rapid fire round to break the ice. The first question is, at what age do you want to retire?
Now.
How long does it take you to get ready in the mornings?
Forever.
Most embarrassing moment of your life?
Teenagerdom.
Favorite color?
Blue.
What time of day are you most inspired?
Evening.
How many hours of sleep can you survive on?
8.
The city in which the best kiss of your life happened?
Vancouver.
Pick one, Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk.
Neither.
So yeah, how do you relax?
Kitten.
How many cups of coffee do you drink per day?
2.
A habit of yours that you hate?
Over-planning.
The most valuable skill you've learned in life?
Patience.
Your favorite Netflix show?
Squid Game.
Are you an early riser or a night owl?
Night owl.
One word description of your leadership style?
Supportive.
Coffee or tea to kickstart your day?
Coffee.
Ideal vacation spot for relaxation?
Train travel.
Key factor for maintaining a work-life balance?
Self-discipline.
All right, well, that was the end of the rapid fire rounds. Now we can go to the longer questions. The first one is, what is it like to hold 40 patents?
Well, getting up towards 50 now, which is frankly an honor. I work with brilliant teams who create novel things. I feel very honored to be part of that work.
And what's the process of getting a patent? For people who don't know, like, is it tough? Is it easy? Is it like, what's it like?
We're supported by a very good patent legal team. So the process of getting a patent is you describe your invention, you work with counsel to draft a filing. You may make a provisional filing if you're still working on the technology and it's not finalized, and then a final filing later. You'll have interviews with the lawyers so that they understand how to describe it, and then they'll create diagrams. You'll review all that material. Then the patent will be filed, and you'll wait a few years to find out if it was accepted.
So Mastercard is a global brand that relies on trust and transparency. How do you use AI and data governance to enhance customer trust and marketing effectiveness at scale?
Trust is essential at Mastercard. Our CEO, Michael Miebach, has publicly and consistently said that the only AI is trustworthy AI as far as we're concerned. So Mastercard's AI governance program is fundamental to establishing that trust. What we do is we assess every system, every AI system that Mastercard builds and buys. We evaluate them for efficacy, fairness, and transparency. We identify the controls that need to be implemented, and we work with teams to implement those controls. We monitor compliance with that. We work with other partner teams who manage security, privacy, and enterprise risk level risks. And if that were the whole story, it wouldn't be as interesting. What we do to ensure customer trust is we enable responsible practices as well. That's about distributing tools. That's about providing support and guidance. That's about training. That's about really everything that's needed for AI to be built in a trustworthy way the first time, so that when you go to evaluation, it passes first time.
As AI becomes integral to customer engagement, how do you balance innovation in AI marketing tools with Mastercard's regulatory and compliance requirements?
Sure. We've seen a huge uptick in engagement with AI with the launch of generative AI systems, with GPT 3.5 and everything that came afterwards. And that innovation and those ideas are remarkable. We We make it easy to develop and procure systems that are responsible, that pass validation. So we distribute tools, we distribute support, guidance. We've developed a generative AI evaluation service that we use not just internally, but with our suppliers to help them, third parties, validate their AI systems are meeting high levels of efficacy. So, avoiding hallucinations, that they are inclusive, that they are transparent.
And collaboration between marketing, product, and AI governance teams can be complex. How do you align these diverse stakeholders around shared data and marketing goals?
So Mastercard starts there with a very robust set of data and tech responsibility principles. What we build needs to work, it needs to be inclusive, it needs to be transparent. And those principles unify everyone around a set of values. But even with people rallied behind that goal, it still needs to be, we still need to make it as easy as possible and as clear as possible what needs to be done to make a system responsible, make it trustworthy. So if we engage with a supplier uh, pre-contract, we need to know what that supplier needs to do. We need to be able to explain it to them clearly. We need to be able to create confidence not just in our business owner and marketing, but also in the supplier team, that this is not going to prevent them from doing what they need to do, but it's going to put guardrails around it. And if we can innovate responsibly in that way, with everything we build and buy, then we are able to innovate without slowing down, and we're able to do things responsibly.
AI is transforming both backend systems and customer facing initiatives. What excites you most about its role in marketing in MasterCard?
Marketing is one of the areas where generative AI applications have been most exciting, most diverse, and most rapid, really, in terms of adoption. We're seeing not just an increase in the use of AI tools, but also this upsurge in the variety of experiences. So interactivity now is possible at a greater level than it used to be. You can do things with media that you never used to be able to do. And I think that the effects of that are transformative. We've seen, as I mentioned, uptick in volume and variety. And I don't think that that's stopping anytime soon.
Designing AI systems for marketing requires balancing technical rigor with human centric design. What's your approach to building AI solutions that marketers can trust and adopt?
Well, one important thing here to note is that a lot of marketing solutions in the enterprise may be purchased from external developers. So it isn't just about building. We we may build, say, 50% of what we're using across the business overall, but it might be much more like 5 to 10% in marketing at this point in time because everyone's experimenting with new experiences. So we need to make sure not just that we are building solutions internally that marketers can trust and adopt, and that is essential, and that's about building shared capabilities and monitoring and tracking all of the different use cases that are happening across the organization in order to be able to say, okay, here are common capabilities. If we build this set of things, this will raise the level for marketers in general. We take that approach in our AI strategy, and we take that approach in our AI governance when it comes to establishing trust. We commonly want to do applications with text, applications with images. We commonly want to prepare, maybe it's materials that are generated using AI that are sort of static and then distributed. Maybe it's experiences where you go in and you provide your own input and then you get personalized output, right? And that sort of thing, that requires consistent evaluation tools and support for not just internal builders, but external ones, so that we can say for every marketing solution that we put out there that leverages AI, we know this was built responsibly. We know this is effective. We know this is transparent. We know this is inclusive. We have the receipts.
So, looking ahead, which AI data and marketing trends do you believe will define MasterCard's approach in the next 5 years?
God, I think we're just getting started. I really do. I think that we will see a continuation of tapping into generative AI, and we will see two things there. We'll see people learning what really works and what doesn't, what moves the needle, and we'll see people identifying what common capabilities are essential and just sort of table stakes for participating in marketing in this AI-based paradigm. I think that we will see more experimentation, and I'm really interested to see whether we start seeing more integration of marketing directly into chat and agentic tools and systems. So, so many people right now use chat systems for recommendations, discovery, advice, and we are building third-party systems on the end of that provide, recommendations, discovery, advice about my corpus of data. But I'd be surprised if over time we don't see more of a shift where the same way the internet and marketing strategy on the internet evolved, I think it will evolve similarly in the generative AI, the chatbot, and agentic space. Because these are tools that everyone is using, and you want to be able to market to them where they are.
And so overall, how does one go about embedding AI ethics into an organization like Mastercard?
When I first started in AI governance, running AI governance at Mastercard, we did a lot of what we did manually. We did it perhaps slightly differently from system to system, and we were learning what needed to be done. And the journey that we went on was one of recognizing that we needed to be a good partner to marketing teams, to business owners, to data science teams. And so we started to standardize what we needed, but in intelligent ways that enabled innovation and enabled our standardized approaches to fit every system. We started automating what we'd standardized, and we started accelerating time to governance. We started reducing the amount of effort and work involved to become compliant. And that's been our philosophy. It's been about managing the amount of work we're creating while establishing and maintaining a good standard of governance. It's been about managing efficacy, fairness, and transparency risks in particular. And it's been about recognizing that our influence is essential. Our ability to work as a constructive partner with other people and have them want to work with us is vital.
So what does your typical day at Mastercard look like?
That's a good question. I start the day, I'm based in London. My team is spread between the West Coast, really, and Eastern Europe, Middle East. And so every day when I wake up in the morning, there are things to address. And so I start there. I start working on what matters most to me. I take a look at what matters most to me yesterday, and I start meeting with members of my team to say, okay, these are the efforts we're driving. These are the synergies I want you to drive between yourself and other leaders. Tell me, give me status updates on what's happening here. And I want to empower and support my leaders, so I prioritize making sure that they are able to do what they need to do with my support. With 1,000 different competing commitments on your time, you need to be able to prioritize what matters most. And consistently, I found that what matters most is to empower the people you work with, your partners, your managers and leaders, and to help them do their best work, because then you're multiplying your impact in the organization. So I very much structure my day around that kind of thing. I tend to get a period of time early in the day where I'm able to work through everything I want to do. I write documents, I edit, I review, and then as I get later into the day, it's meetings with the US.
How much of your time is actually taken up by meetings in a day on an average?
I do. I got long COVID a few years back, and it forced me to really rethink my approach to my work-life balance, because the energy commitment involved in meetings was demanding for me for a while. And so I have a policy now of making sure that a certain period of every day is open to me to be able to do work, and to think, and to plan. And then I do about, honestly, 5, maybe sometimes 6 hours a day of meetings. And I tend to free up a day a week for more work than meetings. That was a bit of a messy answer, but yeah. It's about, on a very quiet day, it's about 3 hours.
And so, at what point do you think the term AI governance starts coming about, and what is the predecessor to this role in the industry? Do we have any other governance that happened before AI governance came along?
Yeah, it depends who you ask. AI governance is very interdisciplinary. If you want to run a good AI governance function, you will bring in data scientists, so people who worked in R&D like I did, or people who worked in deploying AI systems. You'll bring in folks who can think structurally. You'll bring in communicators. You'll bring in governance and regulatory experts. In some sectors, particularly more regulated ones like finance, healthcare, etc., there will be pre-existing governance under things like model governance. In many industries, there won't be, but there will be pre-existing legal pieces. So things like the GDPR will be. A lot of folks who worked in privacy have moved into AI on the legal side because it's a very natural transition. At the same time, when you're building an AI governance organization, I don't think that even now, I don't think that there's an established roadmap where people look at it and they say, okay, I need one of these and two of those, and that's how my team's going to look. Teams are very diverse in terms of their workload. Some teams focus mostly on policy and on specifying what should be done, and then other teams focus on implementation, and they'll do that differently. Some of them will be focused on monitoring, and they'll build really effective tech orgs, and so they'll have engineers more heavily in their organization. And others will be balanced sort of more like mine are, where we do operational risk assessment, control verification, and monitoring. And my point of view on this is you want to build out a diversity of skills in your organization, and you want to empower those people with those different skills to be able to collaborate because you get much better outcomes. But it does depend on what your context is. And I do respect that. There's a lot of variety, and I think that's for good reasons.
And as the AI race continues to heat up, how do you think this role is going to evolve?
Well, there's a stronger regulatory driver now with the EU AI Act coming into force next year, with parts already in place, than there ever was before. And so AI governance has gone from being a values and principles-based thing that certain organizations are doing because they wanted to lead a few years ago to being tied to regulation and a need for the enterprise. And that's important. But in order for the operations of the impact of AI governance, the return on investment really to really be there, you need to enable it to happen efficiently. You need it to drive efficacy improvements. You need it to be sort of technically expert as well as sort of principled, in my opinion. And I think that we'll see an evolution there over time as the teams that crack that start to show their results to the world.
Right. So the last question for you is of a personal kind. What would you be doing in your life if not this?
I came into this from research and development. That was what I was doing. I was running R&D and in data science and engineering. I've got a background in philosophy and computer science. This is in many ways a perfect fit for me. There's a serendipity to it. If I wasn't doing this, I'd probably still be writing. I'd probably be maybe teaching. I would be drawn to complex problems that have structural elements and political elements and require you to really develop a full leadership skill set the way AI governance does. I am John Hearty, Vice President of AI Governance at Mastercard. Catch me on the Technologist of the Month show.